welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, that's Bryant, and we are ready to break down some Saturday baseball and hockey. And I have a CFL parlay as well for today's CFL games, which I'll give out later on. We don't really usually do a recap of yesterday, but obviously being transparent, yesterday was a rough day for me. So if you tailed my picks on the show yesterday, I apologize. It happens though, and we'll move on today. A lot of spots that I like here, and we'll jump right into the first game, which starts in about 2 hours here. One of my favorite games of the night. Atlanta is in Chicago, minus 185 for the Braves, plus 165 for the Cubs, a total 7.5. In this one, the Braves winning streak coming to an end yesterday. I don't know exactly what it was, but the Braves are better against lefties. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but basically their offense kind of fell apart. Maybe it was a good pitching performance on the other side. But hey, they're not going to win every game. They were on a nice big winning streak before that. And now they get to rebound in the next game here against a lefty. They do like facing lefties. Justin Steele on the mound, 1-5 with a 4.33 ERA. However, he is better at home than he is on the road. So he does pitch pretty well at home. And has pitched pretty well in his last 3 games here. But this Braves team is just better. Kyle Wright on the road this year in 4 games. He's 2-1 with a 1.96 ERA. Daytime games, he's 2-1 with a 2.49 ERA in 4 games. And in the month of June, he's 3-0 with a 2.25 ERA. So Kyle Wright has pitched great for Atlanta. Atlanta has been hitting up until yesterday. I think they bounce back here today. I'm on Atlanta minus 1.5 at minus 105. And then also have Atlanta money line and a couple parlays that I'll give out here later. I really like the Braves tonight. And I'll also be hitting a same game parlay with the Braves and probably Swanson because he's just been on fire. So I'll probably have a Braves money line Swanson hit parlay. But Bryant, what do you think here? Braves and Cubs.
Yeah, I was on the Braves over heavy yesterday, absolutely heavy. The weather was beautiful. Braves came in on a 14-game win streak. Cubs were on a 10-game losing streak, 11-game losing streak. It was double digits. And I just thought the way the Braves were hitting and the Cubs were pitching, it just seemed like it was going to be easy over 8th spot. And Keegan Thompson had gotten lit up, but like you said, it just didn't come through yesterday. Ultimately, though, I like the Braves to bounce back here. I think sometimes in betting, people have this tendency to see like, oh, okay, the one team that was a wagon for 2 weeks in a row, they lost. And then that means that they're automatically just going to like regress into like a team that loses 9 straight games. It's kind of not what happens. And even more so when you look at the bigger body and the bigger sample here, the Braves are a good team. Let's just be honest with ourselves here. The winning streak was more of a reflection of them finally finding their groove and beating up on teams that they should have beat up anyway. But I think that they're here to stay. And because of that, them going up against a lefty and Justin Steele, Steele's not been great. He's also kind of banged up. His fingers hurt as well. He's like pushed through it a couple starts, but his velocity has been down a tick, and his command has been kind of wonky at times. His manager even said it itself, and I don't think it's something that is, injury list like worthy, but he's been battling that for a little bit now. And ultimately, because of that, and with the way Kyle Wright looks, he's got an ERA 2.13. His WHIP is under 1. He's got a fairly good K rate, Ks per 9. I think all things considered, and considering the difference in the lineups here, Frank Schwindel is not going to be on the Cubs for a while. He's injured. He went to the IL. He's their first baseman, starting first baseman. I like the I like the Braves here, and I like them on the F5 run line. It's -0.5 at -120. I love that, and I've got a little money line parlay going with the Braves, the Giants, and I've got the Astros in it, and so all three of those teams are in a parlay. So I've got the Braves to win this game as well. The value play obviously is going to be this F5 run line at -120, and I think that there's value also. I'm going to be betting this. The Braves team total over 4.5 at +115. Yeah, so those are my plays for the day, and I think the Braves get back on the horse and cook up another streak.
All right. I like it. We'll move on along to the second game. Here it is. The game we've been waiting for. Me versus Bryant. The Yankees +125 are in Toronto, -145 now. Total of 8.5 in this game. I really don't like the odds in this game. You would think with how the Yankees have been playing, and yes, I get it, it's Manoah, but they both pitchers have pitched well. I would just think that the odds would be a little bit closer here. However, they aren't. But there is good reason for it. Manoah at home in his career. Sorry, hold on a second. Yeah, Manoah at home in his career, in 15 games, he's 10-0. So he's never recorded a loss in Toronto, and he has a 1.99 ERA in those 15 games. Against the Yankees in 4 games, he's 2-0 with a 1.52 ERA. He's pretty much handled this Yankees team from his first start onwards. So he's never lost at home. He's never lost against the Yankees, and I think that I think that continues going on to this game. The Blue Jays yesterday, that was a bad game. It kind of felt like they kind of gave up once the Yankees kind of scored some runs. I don't want to say they gave up, but I think they kind of looked forward to this game. I think that might be a little bit of something. I think they might have looked forward to today's game, and for a good reason. Manoah was definitely looking forward to this game, and if you look at tomorrow's game, I don't want to say that it's a lock that the Yankees will win tomorrow, but the Blue Jays are going to have a very tough game tomorrow against this Yankees team. So if they're going to win a game, it's going to be this one. I think Manoah comes out, does Manoah type things. The Jays squeak by with a win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I do think they squeak by with a win. I'm on the first 5 money line, which I got at -130. And then I also have the money line in 2 of my parlays, which I'll get to here after. I like the Jays to not get swept, and the only chance of that happening is if they win this game. Bryant, Yankees and Blue Jays, your team's hot right now. You think they keep it going?
Yeah, I do, and my reasoning, though, it may be kind of funny to you. Honestly, my reasoning is that this game is going to be won for the Yankees in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. I think that Manoah is going to lock things down considerably. The Yankees will work him enough, I believe, in terms of like pitch count and stuff like that, to get his pitch count up higher to keep him from going maybe 7 or 8 innings. I'm hoping and expecting him to be out of the game by the 6th inning, largely just because he would have thrown too many pitches at that point. Not because I think that he's going to get lit up, but to that point, there's a couple things that I'm looking at and I've kind of gathered over the last since last night, while I was looking at this game, even while yesterday's game was going on. The biggest thing here is Manoah's splits against righties, lefties is pretty significant. Lefties have like an OPS of like 7 against them compared to righties. I think it's like at a 4.45. That's a sharp contrast. And because of that, if you guys follow lineups, which I think anyone who who's in sports betting, you should always follow lineups. It matters a lot. The Yankees have set arguably three of their best players, who are righties, in favor of lefties. And to the untrained eye, it looks like they're punting today, but they're not. And it's more of a lefties just have better success getting on base, getting hits, whatever, against Manoah. So there's no Stanton, there's no LeMahieu, and there's no Donaldson in the game today for the Yankees. A quick interjection. I think the Braves in the over 7.5 is good. I think Kyle Wright's not like a guy that you can expect yet to go out there and like shut a team down for like 1 or 2 runs. So I think that eventually, I think they give up 3 runs themselves, and I expect the Braves to put up like 6 or 7. So between off of Steele and that Cubs bullpen, I think that's a safe bet. So, but back to the Yanks. So they're going to be sitting a couple of guys, like I said, some guys that were produced big time yesterday. So you're going to see Matt Carpenter, Jose Trevino, who's going to play anyway. Marlon Gonzalez is going to be in there. So, with that being said, like I said, I like the matchup here. And ultimately, my reason for picking this has to do with the fact that I think that the game will be close, and the Yankees will get to hit off the Blue Jays bullpen. And I think that that's our only way we win this game, and it's why I have to go with the full game run line, or not run line, but money line. It's I got it last night at. I already put my slip in for last night. I had got it last night at plus 111. I'm sorry. It has now steamed down to plus 106 overnight, and it was about 11 o'clock. So it went down to plus 106. I like it still. I still think, like you said, I don't understand why this line isn't closer, especially in terms of like the Blue Jays. I just don't. I don't know.
It moved a little bit, I think, because Bichette's in, and
he is in. Okay,
yeah, he's in.
Okay,
but maybe because he's in, and a couple of Yankees big bats are out.
Yeah,
those lines.
That would make a lot of sense. And so that's kind of where I'm at with it. I also like the Yankees to keep it close, plus a half in the F5. I think it's going to be a really close game. When we're picking hairs like this, I ultimately think Manoah's a better pitcher than Taillon, and I think because of that, I think that's where the possibility that the Jays, scratch like 1 or 2 runs across early, and that's where the lead comes in. And I think if the Yankees can keep it, like I said, within 1 or 2 runs, we get to the bullpen, and that's where maybe we see some chaos happen. So that, and anyone else that's following the game, you can get Taillon strikeouts. I got it in my book over 4.5 plus 129. I think that's a very good little play here. The Jays do have a few guys that strike out a little bit, and over the last couple of months, this is some of his Taillon strikeout totals. He went 4-4 twice in those 2 consecutive starts he had against the Jays in May. So that in itself right there is already pretty noteworthy. And he had 7-5-5-3-5 between late May, early, and all through June. So those I think that's a very good play right there. So that's something else that I would suggest. But yeah.
All right. So this might be a good live betting game, and if the
yeah.
Yankees are down by 1 or 2 after 5, this might be a good live betting game.
The Montoyo did a very good job yesterday saving some of his better guys. That the Lawrence kid, I think, is whoever it was, whoever ate up innings for him.
I stopped watching after.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Someone ate up a bunch of innings for the Jays yesterday instead of them like tossing out some of their better guys, which is smart. The game was like 6-1 at like the top of the 6th inning, so there was just no need. So I expect the Yankees to get the best of the Jays bullpen today if the game is close. But we'll see.
Guy Wins Money asks, what do you think about the Braves? You answered this. I like the Braves a lot. The over, I'm not so quite sure. I'm not too sure on the over. Steele has pitched good at home. If this was in Atlanta, then I would absolutely love the over. Steele's pitched at home, and Wright has done good on the road. So maybe look at a live over before the bullpens. But I don't know if I would go on the over. But I do like the Braves a lot. Markel likes Braves run line. I love it. I'm on it. Rays money line. I didn't get to that game, but yeah, Baltimore was I wish I would have taken Baltimore to win yesterday and not their team total over. I was right about Baltimore, but I wasn't right about how they would win. But yeah, I do like the Rays today. I just didn't bet it. And over in the Phillies, let's cash. I do have a play in the Phillies game, but it does not involve the total. But I'll give that out on last pitch. We'll move on to the third game here. Cleveland plus 210 is in LA facing the Dodgers minus 250. A total of 8 in this one. I was totally wrong about this game yesterday, and I may have underestimated the Guardians in yesterday's game. I'm not underestimating them in this one. I'm on Cleveland plus 1.5 and Cleveland money line full game at plus 210. I like the Guardians to come in here. Cal Quantrill has won his last 3 games. They are against Oakland, Texas, and Kansas City. So you do have to count that. It is kind of 3 bad teams, and they were all at home. His splits on the road. He's 1-3 with a 3.64 ERA, 3-0 at home with a 3.16 ERA. So his ERA is basically pretty much close. They've just been winning more at home. Urias on the other side, 3-6 in the year with a 2.80 ERA. He's lost 2 of his last 3 games, 1-5 in his last 7 games. For some reason, the Yankees just aren't. I don't know if they're not putting their full effort when he's on the mound or what it is, but for some reason when he's on the mound, the Dodgers just don't play at their best. So really, you just put everything together, and I think this is another good live spot. Another good spot to take the dog. If the Pirates can sweep the Dodgers, then why can't this Guardians team who's won 5 in a row coming in here? I'm not sure that they sweep tomorrow's game as well, but I like the Guardians here. Plus 1.5. I got a plus 100. Full game money line plus 210. This is my dog of the day. A nice big plus 210 dog. I think the Guardians come in here and continue their win streak. Bryant, Guardians and Dodgers. What do you think of this one?
You nailed it with when Urias hits the mound, it just looks like the Dodgers just don't give a shit about playing baseball. It looks like sometimes they'd rather just be doing anything else but playing baseball. It feels like when Urias on the mound, like he struggles, and then like the team just they you know what I'm saying? Like the last couple of starts, I feel like Urias might struggle, but like sometimes you'll see a pitcher will struggle. A team is one of their better pitchers, but the offense will pick them up and at least keep the game competitive, or they'll carry the weight for that game. And you don't even get that with the Dodgers anymore in regards to them backing Urias. Whereas last year, if he didn't have it, the Dodgers were scoring 8 runs. It didn't matter if he didn't have it because they would just score 8 runs and pick him up. Or it'd be enough for him to figure himself out and then get the win still. I just don't know. I'm going to lean with a play that may sound absolutely insane to people that are watching this. But the only reason I'm doing this is because of some numbers that I saw. But my bet and my lean right now, I'm not sure if I'm going to play it yet, but I am going to lean towards the Cleveland Guardians under 2.5 runs full game, simply because the Dodgers are going to come up with. They have another lefty tomorrow. They had a lefty yesterday. Simply put, the Guardians ranked 27th in OPS against left-handed pitching yesterday. The Dodgers didn't lose yesterday because they pitched poorly. Clayton Kershaw pitched well. The bullpen pitched well. Eventually, it just you can't expect for major league hitters to not figure out ways to score runs after 9-10 innings. It's just not that's just not feasible. And when you have a Hall of Famer who gives you what Clayton Kershaw gave you in the bullpen, did what they're supposed to for 9 innings, and then you got the fluky ghost runner extra inning stuff. I cannot, look at this game and bet the Guardians at plus 210. I just can't do it. It's not in my bones. I would do it with a team with a much better offensive body of work, but they don't, and they struggle against lefties, and they're on the road no less too, which makes it even more of a thing that I can't get behind. So with that being said, like I said, that's my lean right now. If I'm going to make a pick, I would put the Dodgers in a parlay, just the money line. Maybe they'll bounce back, but at minus 240, that's pretty steep. But again, you can't really bet that by itself. So it's either you do the run line or you find some other angle. And for me, like I said, it's either going to be that money line or I'm going to look very hard at the Guardians under 2.5 full game team total. And that's plus 115. I think that's fun. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, they just don't hit lefties well at all. And yesterday was another example of it. I think there's another lefty tomorrow that's coming for the Dodgers as well. So that's just my suggestion. I wouldn't be mad at anyone that fades Urias here, considering how he's looked, and decided to take the Guardians 210. I just found value betting other underdogs today elsewhere, so I'm going to stay away from that. But,
All right. Yeah, I could see another repeat of yesterday's game, like a 3-1 or 2-1.
Yeah.
Like 2-1 Guardians win, because the Dodgers should have smashed what's his name?
Plesac yesterday.
Yeah, Plesac. His numbers on the road and at night are just horrible. So the Dodgers should have smacked him around, and they didn't. But that could mean that they have an explosion today. So we'll see what happens. I didn't go all in with the Cleveland bet, that's for sure. It's kind of just a little fun, smaller bet. But I do like them. I do think they have a chance tonight. But yeah, I want to talk anybody off the first 5 under as well.
Yeah, I think that's actually, I didn't even think of that, but yeah, that's a great play right there. Considering what we know about both pitchers, I think that's a good play.
All right. 1 second. All right. We'll go on to the next game here. St. Louis plus 100 as in Boston minus 120. Total of 10 in this one. The Red Sox are keeping it going. They've been a pretty hot team as of late, and they're keeping it going here. Dakota Hudson got lit up his last game. Now he's coming here into Boston, and Cutter Crawford has pitched pretty well. His last game, obviously, was his first game going more than 2 innings. He went 5 innings against Seattle, gave up 1 hit, no earned runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. The 2 innings in the game before that, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. So his ERA in the season, he's 1-1 with a 5.74 ERA, but I don't think that really accurately describes his pitching. And I just think this is a hot Boston team, and I like them to keep it going here. So I'm on Boston money line minus 120. I think it's a good spot for the Red Sox here at home to get another win. I do like this Cardinals team, but I just don't like them here in the spot tonight. Bryant, Cardinals and Red Sox. What do you think of this one?
We're once again looking at each other from opposite sides of the fence. I'm going to Cards, man. I know a little bit more about. I've seen a little bit more from Dakota Hudson. I know Crawford was solid in his last start or whatever, but ultimately, I've seen Hudson multiple times this year. I've bet on Hudson multiple times, and he's he's won a couple starts for me. He's lost, but he's never gotten like absolutely lit up. So I like the value here. The only thing that I'm scared of is that the K to walk or the K to walks ratios at like a 3.4%. Um, he may be in line for some regression somewhere with some of his numbers and stuff like that. But I think that the biggest thing here for me is that Crawford walked quite a few guys so far since he's been in the league. And I don't think that the K, like his Ks per nine, is at a 12.6 right now. I don't think that's sustainable. And it's obviously kind of inflated because he doesn't have that many starts. But with that being said, we saw what the Cardinals did. They screwed me out of the under 10.5 yesterday with the late rally in the ninth inning with 2 outs. And for the better part of that game, if you didn't watch it, the Cardinals were getting men on base against Michael Wacha. Like that wasn't the problem. They just could not find the big hit. They could not find the big hit. And while it wasn't Wainwright's best stuff, I think if they had the offense would have picked them up and they had opportunities to, that game would have been much different. And we saw what happened in the ninth inning. So I don't think that Boston is all too, or not Boston, but I don't think the Cards are all too worried about Boston pitching, and they shouldn't be. That bullpen is not great, and they're throwing out a starter who is still fairly green in retrospect. So I like the guy who's pitched against multiple different MLB lineups this year, and I think we've just seen more from him. And ultimately, that's why I got to take the Cardinals. And they have the better lineup right now too. Paul Goldschmidt is probably the NL MVP. Arenado looked good yesterday. They got some guys that can get on base and cause some problems. So I think this is a bit of a weird spot for a rookie to be like Crawford to be into right now. And we're getting plus money on the game. And I think ultimately I've got to go with that. I just got to go with the Cardinals team that's a little bit better. I'm getting them at even money. I wouldn't talk anyone out of the over 10 either. I'm not going to take it because I got screwed on the total yesterday. And I feel like when I chase totals, because I got screwed the night before, I almost always get screwed the next day too. So I'm just going to go with the Cardinals on the money line. It's even money. And I think I'm also going to hop on the plus a half for the F5 run line. I think it's close. I actually personally think the Cardinals jump out on this kid early and give Hudson some wiggle room and allow him to pitch freely and not have to worry about keeping the game tied. But yeah, I like the Cardinals here.
All right, we're kind of on different sides of things today, but hey, that's good. Gives people different opinions here. But I know there's definitely some games in last pitch that we're on the same side here. And I'll start us off. We talked Atlanta Cubs. We talked Yankees, Blue Jays, Giants, Pirates, Wood against Quintana. Not a game that I've got to. I obviously like the Giants a lot more of a team. Pitching wise, not a fan of Wood this year. Not really a pitcher I want to back. Quintana started off really well, but it's kind of been going downhill as of late. So that game is ultimately a pass. Rays and Orioles, like I said earlier, Springs and Bradish. Rays have a big pitching advantage. This should be a big game for the Rays. But they have been kind of slumping lately. Yes, they face the Yankees, and then it's one game against Baltimore. But they've been slumping, and I don't really want to back them here, even with the pitching advantage. Royals, Athletics, Keller, Irvin, two really bad teams, 22 and 41. Royals, 22-44. Athletics, pass. Angels, Seattle, game one. Sandoval and Flexen. I give the pitching advantage to the Angels, but the Angels are just not a team I want to back right now. It's not that big of a pitching advantage that I run to them. Flexing 2-8 in the year, 4.30 ERA, so I don't really want to back him either. Game 2, Suarez, who has not been good against to be determined. Can't really do much with that. Rangers Tigers, Hearn against Garcia. Lean with the over, but not taking it over with the Detroit offense. So that game is a pass. White Sox Houston, Cueto against Verlander. The White Sox, even facing a lefty, couldn't get the job done yesterday. Had their team total over 4.5, and of course they scored 4 runs the full game. Now they get to face Verlander, one of the best pitchers in the league, who is a righty, and the White Sox are not good against righties. So I do like Houston. I have their money line and a few parlays, which I'll get to here right after last pitch. Miami Mets, Garrett against Walker. I took Miami team total over 3.5 at plus 115 for the full game. I think they can get a few runs here off Walker and get a run or two at the end. I don't know if they win the game, but I do like them to score in this one. Brewers Reds was going to pull the trigger on the first 5 under 5 with Alexander and Ashcraft, but ultimately they decided to stay off. But it's a big lean with the under 5 in the first 5 for Brewers Reds. Phillies Nationals, Nola and Gray. I do like the Phillies. I have their money line, first 5 money line, and a parlay that I'll get to here. I like the Phillies right now. Nola, obviously a really good pitcher. Josiah Gray has been pitching really well on the other side, so that's the only thing that a little bit scares me. But I do like the Phillies offense quite a bit more. We talk Cleveland Dodgers. We talk Cardinals, Red Sox, Padres, Rockies. Marquez is Marquez. I want to take San Diego. I'm on them on the money line, minus 120. I don't really overly trust Martinez, but I do think the Padres bounce back here. It is Marquez on the mound, and I do think the Padres can hit him. I wanted to take their team total, but it's 6.5, so you kind of can't take that. And then Twins Diamondbacks, Arizona first 5 money line, plus 105. It's Bundy. Not much else has to be said. The Twins game to win was yesterday, and they blew it. So I don't see them coming in here with Dylan Bundy. Luke Weaver, he hasn't pitched much this year. 2 games. So 3.2 innings. He's given up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts in the 3.2 innings. Obviously only lasted 0.2 against San Diego and then got the win against Philly his last game. I like him to be leading, Arizona to be leading after the first 5. And that's my breakdown for the rest of the baseball games for today. Bryant, last pitch. What do you think here?
Yeah. We, like you said, we went over some of the stuff that I've already been on. I mentioned I was on the Giants money line in a parlay.
Whoa, I like the Red Sox too, Icex, but whoa
no. I like the Giants run line, minus a half. Wood's been pitching honestly pretty solidly over the last couple of starts. That fastball slider combo that he's been using has been really working. So I like that play there. I like the Rays money line. I know minus 153, it's kind of crazy, but I'm going to back the Rays. I think that the difference between Springs and Bradish is just too big to ignore. And I think because I like the Rays money line, I think I have to take a look at the Rays run line on the F5 at minus a half, minus 115. I think the Rays can light up this kid and get an early lead. Spring is pitching really well. It doesn't matter who he's faced; he's just done an excellent job. So those are my plays there. The Athletics Royals hard pass. Hardest of passes.
Nick and Tim on their show, they have a 1-800 gambler video that they put up, And yeah, if you're betting that game, come
You
on
need
now,
help.
come on now. There's a
Yes.
lot of other better spots on the board.
Yes. I would bet the MLS before I bet that game. And I don't even like the MLS. Um, anyway, the Astros game has been confusing me, man. Like I'm I think I have a good read on it, but I like every time I'm like ready to submit something, I'm unsure. So that's still something I got to work on over the next couple of hours. But I like the Astros money line. It's in a parlay, as I said already. Um, I think that there's sneaky value in a Verlander K prop. It's over 6.5 Ks. Plus, it's even money. It's at plus 100. Obviously, he's not striking out guys like he was, 4 or 5 years ago when he was good for 9 a start. It seemed like. But that I looked at that White Sox lineup, and I'm not like too. They didn't give me any chills. Like I didn't get scared. I didn't get worried. So I said, you know what? That's something that I would definitely look into. The bigger play here for me, and this is the one that I'm really, I can get the White Sox team total over 3.5 at plus 135. Now, I don't think Verlander is the one that's going to give up 4 runs, but that Astros bullpen is suspect. It is a suspect bullpen, and I found out the hard way last week betting on them against the Rangers that they are. It's not, and this is not the second. This is not the first time I've seen this. It's happened a couple times earlier this year as well when I've had the Astros full game, and that bullpen has had some suspect moments. Um, um, my biggest hater, Tim Earl, right there. But I'm kind of leaning towards betting that simply because I think Verlander's good to maybe give up 1 or 2, and even in a blowout, like I said, I just don't think the Astros are going to come in here and nail this down quietly. So I'm looking at leaning towards that team total over 3.5 at plus 135. So that's a play there. In the game 1, I'm not touching game 2 because I have no clue who's pitching, and based on what the Angels already have to offer as pitchers, it already sounds like a no. But I like Sandoval. I think he's respectable. I got the Angels winning. They're going up against Chris Flexen. Flexen did a good job this year ducking Otani and Trout, but it's time to pay up. And I think he has to pay up in a big way today. I like the Angels on the F5 run line, minus a half. It's plus 105. You get the better pitcher here and the team with the better lineup right now. Even if it's marginal, I just got to take the plus money. I got to take the plus money on the F5 run line there. So that's where I'm going to go. I actually like the Reds to win outright today. I'm not going to bet that game at all. But I was able to get the Reds F5 run line plus a half at minus 130 with Ashcroft on the mound. And I think that's stealing. I think he's a much better pitcher than Alexander. I think Alexander's going to be a solid pitcher in his own right, but I think that there's a noticeable difference right now. And the kid, he throws gas. He doesn't walk guys all that often, and I think that plays well when you're in the Great American Ballpark, which is a hitter-friendly place. So not walking guys will really help your case out. I think the Mets steamroll the Marlins. I have them on the run line. It's plus 115. That's good value with the Mets right now. Taijuan Walker threw 10. He struck out 10 guys on Sunday Night Baseball against the Angels last week, and now he gets a Marlins team that's down 2 of their biggest offensive producers, Aguilar and I think Cooper, are both out the lineup as well. It's a Mets home game. I like the Mets on the run line here, plus 115. And I think if you want to play it safe and you just want to get in and get out, you're getting good value at the run lines on the F5 and at minus a half at minus 125. So that's my play there. Rangers and Tigers. That's another bum fight. But neither one of those pitchers is all that great. And I think that there's value in the over 8.5 there. I think both pitchers have like ERAs over 4. The Tigers probably have a little bit better bullpen, but it's going to be sunny. And like I said, you got two starters with ERAs over 4. And I just feel like if you're gonna bet that, you got to just look for runs and save yourself from betting on the side. And I got the Phillies. Phillies run line, full game at -130. I'm iffy about that. But I trust the Phillies in this game more than I trust the Nationals. I'm not going to bet it full game because you know my rule. I can't do it. So I'm going to have to lean to the F5 or just look at the Phillies team total. Josiah Gray struggles against lefties. And the Phillies have a lefty-heavy lineup. As a matter of fact, so y'all don't think I'm too crazy when I say this, lefties for Philly have a OPS over 780. Their OPS is over 700. It's at 784 against right-handers this year. And Gray has allowed lefties. He has an OP, or lefties have an OPS of 889 against him in his 2-year career. So it's team total, or you bet the Phillies to win some form of the F5 or the full game there. And then lastly, I got to go to the Padres today. I don't like Nick Martinez. I don't think the kid's a bad pitcher. He walks too many guys. He just walks too many guys, and that just gets you in unnecessary trouble. You're playing in cores. You do that, and the Rockies can very easily put a 10 spot back on their head again like they did yesterday. But to that point, I think the Padres got embarrassed by that performance, and they come out guns blazing. And ultimately, I think Martinez is good enough to get enough outs to get us to cash that first half money line, which I think I had it at, hold on, let me see. I had the Padres first half money line at -125. It was -125. I think that's good value. Marquez is Marquez. You don't know what you're going to get from him sometimes, but I just got to go with the better lineup here. And the motivation factor that they got embarrassed yesterday, and they came off a really good performance on the road these last couple of series. So it's really just I trust the Padres more, and I like their lineup more than I like the Rockies. I don't really think that either pitcher is good, and I very well think that the over is very much in play. I just don't like betting over totals in cores, man. Like it's something about that. Like it just seems unreasonable that every game it's always like 11 or 12. That's a lot of runs for professional hitters to come up against. So and the team totals are too inflated. 6.5 runs is ridiculous, and that's only from like minus like 150. I'm like, what? I can't do that. I just can't. So I'm gonna run with the Padres here and hope that they don't screw me over like they did yesterday. So and also I got 2 more picks, and they're both in college baseball. I've got Auburn to win. They're plus money underdogs. They're sitting their Sunday ace on the mound today. I just like them a little bit better there. And Stanford is the number 2 team, number 2 seed in the overall in the entire tournament. And they're going up against a pretty solid Arkansas team. Ultimately, though, I just like the depth on the Stanford Cardinals a little bit better, and I think that they pull out the win. And you can get. Well, I got that at. I got them on the run line. I got Stanford on the run line at plus 145. So those are my baseball plays for the day, and that's it.
All right. We'll get into, I guess, the new segment, Terry's Parlays. And we'll start with the first one. This is my biggest bet of the night. Spoiler alert, also my best bet. Atlanta money line parlayed with Houston money line plus 116. This is my all-in bet here, my favorite one. Going on to the second parlay, Atlanta first 5 money line, Toronto first 5 money line, Houston first 5 money line, and Philadelphia first 5 money line plus 484 for my first 5 parlay. Third one, basically the first one, Atlanta and Houston, but adding in the Blue Jays plus 289. And the fourth one is a CFL parlay. Calgary plus 1.5 against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I'm thinking Hamilton takes this. They obviously did not play well in their first game, losing. Calgary played really well in their first game. Now headed to Hamilton. Yes, Hamilton is pretty good at home, but I think the Stampeders plus 1.5 is a good play here. I like Calgary to get the win. And then that is totally incorrect. Let me type that correctly. That's Saskatchewan money line. Good thing I noticed that. That's Saskatchewan money line, not Edmonton. Edmonton is the worst team in the CFL. I don't even think it's close. So you parlay Calgary and Saskatchewan together. That's plus 153. And that's Terry's parlays. And we'll go on to the NHL game before we get to best bets. The Lightning plus 135 are in Colorado, minus 155. A total of 6 in this one. Sorry, I said I would post NHL. Got to post that we were getting to NHL here, but Lightning plus 135, Colorado minus 155. I don't really know what's going to happen in this game. I'm on Lightning to win the series, but don't really like what I've seen from them. It was obviously just one game. But what I did is I took Tampa Bay team total over 2.5 in regulation for minus 122. So they got to score 3 goals here in regulation. I think they can do that. Do they win this game? I don't know. Tampa Bay has been good at bouncing back, but this Colorado team, I don't know. This could be a quick series. I'm getting this feeling that this could be a quicker series than expected. So Tampa Bay team total over 2.5 in regulation. That's all that I got to in this one. Bryant Lightning and Avalanche. Any thoughts here?
Yeah, we talked about this. I personally, I like the Lightning to bounce back here, simply because I like what I saw from Vaz in the net, second, third period. Obviously they lost the game in OT, but I think he let in some just uncharacteristic goals, even for himself, and the Lightning, for all the talk about, some of the Avs defense and stuff like that, the Lightning were able to score still, and they scored on fewer chances than the Avs did, and were still able to keep it competitive. All things aside, I think they got shell shocked that first period, and I made the analogy to you before the show. The Lightning just feel like a veteran boxer, like a veteran fighter that has gotten, like, they're at the point in their career where they're able to just kind of dictate the pace of how they want to do things. And so I think that first game, a lot of it felt like the Lightning got smacked on the chin, and then they were able to go to the corner after the first period. And I think that's a very good idea right there, personally. I think the Lightning got smacked on the chin.
A little bit different there. You're saying take Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay by 2, and then you're saying go Avs and Avs in 5. So I guess this is.
I guess it's the one win.
Yeah.
But I think they took it on the chin. They came back out and they were able to regroup. And I think today is a further continuation of that. And they're not gonna. I don't think they want to go back to Tampa down 2-0, man. Not with this Avs team. And they haven't. They've played really well in game 2s for the most part this entire postseason, and I just don't see it stopping now. So I got to go with the Lightning here. I just got to go with the Lightning, and that's where kind of I'm going with it. I have a play on it, and I also think that the team total over 2.5 for the Lightning is also solid bet, very solid bet at minus 145. I think that's fine if you parlay it with some other stuff. Or you just single bet it and give you something to watch while you're watching the game if you're not comfortable with the side. So,
Yeah, I went with my team total over 2.5 in regulation, just because you can get that at -122. So um, I don't think it's I don't think it's going to be a 2-2 going to overtime. Watch it be 2-2 go to overtime and Tampa wins, and then I'll be really upset. But I just hope that's not what happens. But we'll get to best bets here in a second. Let me bring up the comment. Lightning 3-1.
Fine by me. Fine by me.
As long, yeah, that's fine by me too, because it would be in regulation if it's 3-1. So I like it. We'll go here to the best bet segment, and we will start with dog of the day as we always do here. And I will bring it up. It's been a while since Finnegan made his appearance, so that's okay. The dogs are barking today, hopefully, and my dog is Cleveland Guardians. Nick is going with the New York Yankees. Tim, Cleveland Guardians. Bryant, New York Yankees. Manny, St. Louis Cardinals. And Jake is going with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Over or under for me, Tampa Bay team total over 2.5. For Nick, Yankees, Toronto, first 5 under 4.5. Tim is going into the CFL and taking Hamilton, Calgary over 45. Manny is going Atlanta, Chicago under 7.5. And Jake is going Tampa Bay, Colorado under 6. Bryant, what do you think here for under?
I just popped it on in there. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay team total over 2.5 myself. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it hasn't appeared on the screen yet because I think you haven't pushed enter.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, it's okay.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, there we go. And then best bets and best parlay pieces. I already said earlier, Atlanta money line parlayed with Houston money line. My best bet of the day, +116. Best parlay piece, Houston money line. I don't trust the White Sox against a righty. Brian is right though about the bullpen, but I think Houston should be up to a big enough lead where they should be able to get the job done. Nick is going Tampa Bay team total over 2.5 as his best bet. Philadelphia Phillies first 5 money line as his parlay piece. Tim going New York Mets -1.5 best bet. Houston Astros money line as his parlay piece. Manny going Toronto, Tampa Bay, LA Dodgers all on the money line +268, and LA Dodgers money line as his parlay piece. Jake going Houston first 5 -0.5 best bet. New York Mets first 5 money line as his parlay piece. And Bryant, you're going Jameson Taillon 5+ strikeouts and the Yankees to win +265, and Atlanta Braves first 5 +0.5.
Yes. I explained my rationale for the Taillon thing, and I also obviously said my piece on the Yanks money line and the Braves. I think the Braves get out early, give you a little security in case the game is tied after 5 for whatever reason. But I expect the Braves to handle business.
All right. And that is the show. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube and then the live chat. We'd love to interact with you. If you're enjoying the content, smash the like button. We'll be back tomorrow, 12:30 again, as most of the games start early tomorrow. So another 12:30 episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Best luck to everybody tonight, and have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.